Now at 5, authorities in Webb City search for a suspect who robbed a Dollar General. Plus, how inflation is impacting the livestock of area farmers, and
ripple effects from the U.S. Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade may have some political ramifications. I'm Skylar Henry in Washington with a look at the legal challenges and other reactions to the changes in federal abortion rights.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities are searching for a man following an armed robbery in Webb City. This is KOAM News at 5. Just after 9 last night, Webb City police responded to a call at the Dollar General in Webb City at 1510 South Madison. Witnesses say a man entered the store and demanded money from the employees. That man showed a gun, took an undetermined amount of cash. Authorities warned not to approach the suspect as he is considered to be armed and dangerous. Authorities say a train has struck and killed a pedestrian in Noel, Missouri. It happened around 9 last night. Authorities say the victim was a Noel man who died at the scene, but they have not yet released his identity. Law officers are continuing their investigation, but they do not suspect foul play. Rising costs on the farm are leading to rising prices at the grocery store. The rise in fertilizer and fuel costs is adding to the overall price of meat and livestock. Farmers and meat shops are trying to adapt their budgets to compensate for the new maintenance expenses.
Well, back when everybody fertilizes their pasture, they have to buy fuel, they have to buy seed. Fertilizer got to $1,000 a ton, and that's very expensive. That's probably twice as high as it's been in the last years.
Despite the steady increase in inflation, farmers hope by the fall the cost of fertilizer will begin to drop. 100 years on the green. Joplin's Schiffer-Decker Golf Course today celebrates 1 century since opening in 1922. City officials held a ribbon-cutting ceremony with celebratory tee shots from Mayor Pro Tem Keenan Cortez, Parks and Rec Director Paul Bloomberg, and the current Ozark amateur Jordan Burks. The course is open to the public and consists of 18 holes.
Seeing things grow and continue to grow. From the entire crew that we have here, the grounds crew, the pro shop staff, everybody here is really dedicated and wants the best for this course to continue for the next 100 years.
Schiffer-Decker Park was named in 1923 to honor Charles Schiffer-Decker, who donated 120 acres of land in 1915. Pretty nice day out there. Let's check in with Doug.
Yeah, another pretty good day for us. Plenty of sunshine across the region. Temperatures a little bit hotter, so we're kind of back to the heat, but at least we don't have much in the way of humidity across the region. Clear skies. We'll continue to see the clear skies as we go into the overnight hours for us tonight. And then again, even on Thursday, really no rain in sight. We are going to get some chances in the forecast by the time we head into the holiday weekend. Until then, pretty much sunny skies. Upper 80s, lower 90s right now. Good news, we don't have much of a heat index. It pretty much matches what our temperature is. As we go through the evening hours, we slide back through the 80s, 70s, eventually mid 60s later on tonight, and it heats up even more the next few days. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you then. Protests and lawsuits are ramping up nearly 1 week after the U.S. Supreme Court rolled back the landmark 1973 Roe v. Wade decision on abortion rights. Democrats have seized the issue to drive support in this year's midterm elections. But positions on abortion rights could also come into play in some Republican primaries. Reporter Skylar Henry has more from Washington.
Protesters on Capitol Hill called on lawmakers to take action to protect abortion rights.
Roe is dead, but we don't give up. The Supreme Court does not have the final word.
It simply gave the issue back to the elected representatives to be dealt with in the political process.
Tuesday, 8 states held primary or runoff elections, the first one since the Supreme Court's historic decision to overturn Roe v. Wade.
I will listen to people.
In Colorado, Joe O'Dea, a Republican who has voiced support for some abortion rights, beat an anti-abortion rights opponent in his U.S. Senate primary. Meanwhile, lawsuits continued to mount. Wisconsin's Democratic leaders filed a challenge against their state statute banning abortion dating back to 18 1949. Already, some state judges have temporarily blocked similar so-called trigger laws in Texas, Utah, and Louisiana, where providers at one of the state's 3 abortion clinics brace for next steps.
We're taking each day as we can, seeing as many patients as we can while we can.
The next battle over reproductive rights may have already begun after Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas suggested the court should reconsider any cases protecting access to contraceptives.
Clarence Thomas was quite forthright that he is inviting people to bring these challenges.
Following a surge in demand, several major pharmacies like CVS and Rite Aid are imposing limits on the purchase of emergency contraception, also known as the morning after pill. Skyler Henry, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
The Biden administration has made access to family planning services, including emergency and long-acting contraceptives, part of its plan of action in response to the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Still ahead, a warning from consumer safety experts.
An alarming uptick in fireworks-related injuries. I'm Dina Demetrius with tips on keeping those July 4th celebrations safe.
And next in Health Watch, how the Biden administration is working to combat the spread of monkeypox. Topping today's Health Watch, deaths during pregnancy or right after delivery increased 18% in the U.S. in 2020. That's according to new maternal mortality data from the National Center for Health Statistics. The analysis shows the death rate just after the start of the pandemic was even higher, and Black and non-white Hispanic mothers were impacted the most. The Biden administration has a new strategy to fight the spread of monkeypox. It's speeding up testing and vaccinations. Big batches of vaccines are being shipped to communities most at risk. Ian Lee reports.
This is the only vaccine licensed to fight monkeypox. The shot, called Jenios, is produced by the Danish company Bavarian Nordic.
It stimulates your immune system so you are better prepared to fight the monkeypox you are infected with.
The Biden administration is pushing 56,000 doses of the Jenios vaccine to areas where the virus is spreading fastest. In New York City, people lined up to get the shot.
Lots of us had heard stories, maybe a friend of a friend who had gotten monkeypox.
I feel a lot safer going out, meeting new people, whatever it is.
The U.S. has reported more than 300 cases in more than half the country. More than 4,700 cases have been found in more than 40 countries. While the World Health Organization last week stopped short of calling the outbreak a global health emergency, officials insist it's still a threat.
The longer the virus circulates, the more it will extend its reach.
The disease, which was first discovered in Africa in monkeys, causes a rash that can look like chickenpox. The virus spreads through close contact, and while most recover within weeks, it can be deadly. Even if someone catches monkeypox, experts say getting the vaccine can reduce symptoms.
You can be vaccinated if you believe you may be infected.
Bavarian Nordic says it's meeting global demand, and if needed, can ramp up production to 30 million doses a year. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Bavarian Nordic says the U.S. has nearly 2 million doses of the vaccine. A new study from Rutgers University suggests screening mothers and fathers for depression beyond the current standard of the first year after a child is born could identify more families who need mental health resources. Parental depression affects 1 in 5 families and can have negative health impacts on both parents and children. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, our pet vet on call.
Dr. Eva Dudek from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we're going to tell you when it's a good idea to do blood work on your dog.
Plus, it gets a little bit hotter as we go through the next few days. We're going to check that out coming up. Well, it turned out to heat up a little bit more for us today. Most of us right around 90 degrees for afternoon highs. Thankfully, we aren't dealing with the humidity, but especially by the holiday weekend, the humidity will start to creep back into the forecast. Nice shot, plenty of sunshine, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, it's hot. Most of us 89, 90 to about 91 degrees. Of course, we'll slide back through the 80s as we go through the evening hours, but we are seeing those temperatures slowly creep up. Good news here is, look at our dew points. So dew points measure our moisture in the atmosphere. these are sitting right around 60 degrees. So if we look at our dew point tracker, that kind of puts us in the not bad category. This will start to creep up as we go into the holiday weekend once that humidity starts to kick back in. But at least right now, it's not bad. Clear skies currently outside, sitting at 91, south winds at 6. Relative humidity is low at 33%. Through the evening hours, we drop back through the 80s, 70s. If you want to get outside this evening, it looks fine. We have pretty much clear skies. Eventually, we'll drop back into low to mid 60s for overnight lows. Nothing going on here. We got clear skies, and really that's the case across the entire Central Plains. Big dome of high pressure is in charge, keeping us pretty much hot and dry. A little bit of tropical moisture down across the Gulf of Mexico, and some of this will vect up as we head into the next couple days and combine with some waves developing out across the Rockies, at least giving us slight chances for some showers and thunderstorms as we head toward the weekend. Until then, pretty much what we have seen is what we're going to get, except temperatures are going to step up a little bit. All right, let's go through time. We're going to stop at 6 o'clock in the morning, 64, 65 degrees to start. We warm into the upper 80s to near 90 by the noon hour, and then we're going to top out into the low to mid 90s during the afternoon. We should have plenty of sunshine once again tomorrow. 62 to start, 89 by noon. High 94, getting kind of hot, but again, not much humidity. Southerly winds, very light, very similar to today at about 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, we slide back upper 60s to near 70. We are going to get a few clouds. You can see some thunderstorms to our north. These are going to stay north of the region, so as we go into Friday, back into the mid 90s, and there's a very slight chance we may get an isolated thunderstorm late in the day. You can see thunderstorms get a little bit closer by the time we head into Saturday morning, so that's something that we'll definitely keep our eyes on. All right, heat indices, mid 90s for us tomorrow, but back near 100 by the time we head into Friday afternoon. So it does creep up over the next few days. 94 tomorrow, 95 Friday, 94 Saturday, 93 on Sunday. Very slight chances for isolated thunderstorms as we go into the holiday weekend, but I would say 90% of the holiday weekend is going to be dry. On the 4th itself, the heat, the humidity is going to be high, 97, and then high temps right around 100 next Tuesday and Wednesday.
That's not going to scare anybody away from celebrating the 4th of July.
Nope.
Thanks, Doug. Hey, a big celebration here at the TV station this afternoon. Representatives from 6 area chambers of commerce joined us for a ribbon cutting as KOAM TV and Fox 14 make progress on that project to improve the power and reach of our broadcasting signal. Chambers of Commerce from Joplin, Pittsburgh, Carthage, Carl Junction, Neosho, and Grove joined us to celebrate, also to get an update on the project and tour our facilities. When the antenna and transmitter project is complete, our signal is going to be stronger than ever. In the meantime, signal might be a little bit glitchy for some of you, but that big improvement is coming very soon. Bear with us. Coming up, the FTC is suing retail giant Walmart. First, though, we honor a local veteran of the U.S. Army. Michael McMain joined in 2007 and served in Afghanistan with an airborne brigade. He's a Kansas native, and we're proud to salute Specialist Michael McMain, a 4-state hero. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the FTC is suing Walmart over its money transfer services. The agency alleges Walmart let scam artists who stole hundreds of millions of dollars from customers use the services. The suit accuses Walmart of failing to properly secure those services at its store for years. It also says Walmart did not properly train employees and failed to alert customers to the scams. The FTC is asking the court to order Walmart to return money to consumers and impose civil penalties. Walmart called the lawsuit, quote, factually misguided and legally flawed. Some analysts worried about a potential recession in the U.S. economy. According to the Bureau of Economic Analysis, real gross domestic product fell at an annualized rate of 1.6% during the first 3 months of 2022. A recession is usually seen as back-to-back quarters of GDP declines, but it's not the official definition. The National Bureau of Economic Research says recessions come after a significant and expansive decline in economic activity for more than a few months. 4th of July celebrations are known for fireworks, of course, big and small, but there's an alarming uptick in fireworks-related injuries, landing thousands of Americans in the hospital. Reporter Dina Demetrius has some important tips to keep your celebrations safe.
This is what can happen when fireworks are misused. The Consumer Product Safety Commission is reminding Americans to play it safe this Independence Day. A new CPSC report shows fireworks-related injuries are up 25% over the past 15 years. Last year, there were at least 9 deaths and an estimated 11,500 emergency room visits. Those numbers are down from a peak in 2020.
The overall trend is still high. We want to make sure that people understand that fireworks are explosives. They are dangerous.
Just last week, a 14-year-old in the Seattle area lost one hand and injured the other while playing with fireworks. The CPSC warns fireworks aren't for children, even sparklers.
They burn at about 2,000 degrees, so it's like handing a blowtorch to a child.
During the height of the pandemic, many cities canceled holiday fireworks and more consumers put on their own backyard shows. But this July 4th, public pyrotechnics, like here at Pasadena's Rose Bowl, are much easier to find. Experts say attending a professional display is the safer way to celebrate. If you do plan to use fireworks at home, remember the acronym WOW. W for water, have it handy to douse fires. O for one at a time, never light off multiple fireworks. W for walk away once it's lit. And never make or use illegal fireworks.
The fuse burns way too quickly or has too large a load in it, which can make the explosion much bigger than you think.
This year, July 4th falls on a Monday, extending the opportunity for celebration and potential mishaps. Dina Demetrius, CBS News, Pasadena, California.
Another reminder, they say you should make sure any fireworks you set off are those labeled for consumer use. Our pet vet on call next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, an investigation into the rise of unsolved murders in America's cities. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to have more on the impact of inflation on the area cattle industry. Plus, SkyWest announces its plans for future service at the Joplin Regional Airport. And a former Pitt State Gorilla and Kansas City Chief is inducted into the Kansas Football Hall of Fame. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. We humans get blood work from time to time as part of our health checks. Well, sometimes our pets really should too. Today's question for our pet vet on call comes from Tori. She asks, what's the recommended time to get blood work for insight on your pet's health and dentals?
Anytime you have an issue, you think there's something not quite right, your dog's not acting his normal self, you should get blood work. Blood work helps us see on the inside what we can't see on the outside. If your pet is healthy, however, anytime you have a procedure like a dental or a spay or a neuter, and it's never a waste of money because that gives us a baseline for, God forbid, some kind of issue later on down the road.
Thanks for the question, Tori. We invite questions from anyone. If you have one, you just send it to petvet@koamtv.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question or brings us a fun fact every Wednesday on KOAM News at 5. You can also find answers to previous questions on our website. All right, let's check out our picks of the litter for the week. From the Joplin Humane Society, we've chosen this 2 to 3-year-old female husky. And there's Brandon from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society. We have a 3-month-old domestic short-hair kitten. His name is Squirtle. Either a really cute name or a really troubling symptom. If you're looking for a pet, why not check out your local Humane Society? Squirtle.
Interesting. Who comes up with these names?
It's a producer saying it's a Pokemon character.
Gotcha. I don't know Pokemon.
Well, you know, some millennials and younger would know that.
There you go.
Okay, the weather.
All right, heat kicking in the next couple days. 94 tomorrow, 95 on Friday.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 6. Let's make it a great evening.